You can play, Michelle. You want to play?
I don't know.
I've stumped the panel. Human resources. Why?
They don't really need to be.
Actually, they do. There is stuff in your human resources file I'm sure you do not want other people to know. Your health records, your criminal background, your background check, right? We all probably have something in our past we would not want to get out there, okay? And it's all human resources. They do background check. Discipline, hey, you were disciplined for, I don't know, picking your nose or something in front of the guest. Okay? Now you say, well, you can just password protect all that stuff, right? Oh yeah, password protection works really well. Nobody knows anybody else's password, right? No one can crack the password problem. Absolutely. So human resources absolutely should be its own system, separate. And this is how serious I take it. When I was general manager of a hotel, it was the human resources office, and we were rekeying everything, and I said, okay, for human resources, I get a key, director of human resources gets a key, and the secretary gets a key. No one else. And the director of security said, and I need a key. And I said, no, you don't. He said, I'm the director of security. And I said, that's great. You don't need a key. He says, what happens if the office is on fire? I said, let it burn. Because I wanted as few people as possible to have access to that stuff. Because it literally is radioactive. I'm pretty squeaky clean, but there's probably a couple things in my human resources file I just don't want, people don't need to know. They don't need to know what medication I'm on. They don't need to know, my discipline. Okay? And so all of you in here, I bet someone's got a little something they don't want people to know. I always say leave human resources off it. The accounting, the numbers, they're going to figure it out. If you're smart enough, you know what the numbers are anyways. You guys got to spend a month at the front desk, and you can pretty much, if you know anything about numbers, you can make a really good educated guess as how much the hotel makes, what they spend, what the finances are. Human resources, very different though, okay? So do you understand what PMS is? It's just basically giving each system the ability to talk to it. You don't have to re-enter everything every time something happens, okay? Now, the reservations department. Typically what will happen is that someone works the front desk for a couple of years and they decide, I'm tired of working the front desk, I'll work the phones and reservations. And there's one huge advantage, especially for older people, that reservations gives you. What's that? You get to sit down all day. Hey, when you work the front desk, you're on your feet 8+ hours. And if you're a young person, that's not a lot. You're getting up there in years, 8 hours is painful. So reservations is typically in the back office. You get a little cubicle, and you get a really nice phone and a nice computer. People call, and what's great about it is that you're the first area of contact. So people will have an impression about the hotel just basically on how you interact with them. And this is why I was very, very, very careful on who I put in reservations. Someone who was pleasant, who was knowledgeable, knew everything about the hotel, could answer all the questions, because it really is a sales position. And I'll give you an example. Embassy Suites hotels. If you know anything about Embassy Suites hotels, it's usually the most expensive full-service hotel in any market. So people would call all the time and say, oh, I want to stay at the Embassy Suites these dates. Okay, that's $189 a night. $189 a night? I just got a quote $169 a night from the Marriott. I think I'll stay at the Marriott. Well, you have to be a really good salesperson and say, well, sir, Do you know about Embassy Suites? Well, yeah, I know a little bit. Well, let me tell you why there's a difference in price, okay? At the Marriott, you have to pay for breakfast. Did you know at Embassy Suites, you guys know about Embassy Suites? What's the deal with Embassy Suites?
It's complimentary.
Yeah, what kind of breakfast?
It's like everything.
It's a full cook to order breakfast. That's the actual line. I train people. It's a full cook to order breakfast in the morning, including a omelet and a waffle station. We make it for you. Now, sir, if you were to go out to breakfast in the morning, to Denny's, and order a full cook to order breakfast, how much are you spending? Even Waffle House. Hey, I like Waffle House. If you see me in the Waffle House, don't be surprised. I usually drop about $10 in the Waffle House, right? After my drink and my, upgrade to get my cheese and my hash browns. Then you got to tip them, right? That's $12 right there. So now, okay, well, there's $12. Okay, full cooked order breakfast. And did you know that the Marriott is a regular hotel room, where Embassy Suites is an honest-to-God actual suite? 2 separate rooms. How much would you pay for a suite at the Marriott? A lot more than $169. And what's the other thing you get in the evening? Anybody know about that? Manager's reception, 2-hour free cocktails. Yeah, you think you can put away more than $6 in cocktails if you want? Absolutely. And so, and by the time they get off the phone, they're like, oh man, $169 is a great deal. Book me. You can't let them get away. It really is a sales position. You have to be able to say, here's why we charge more, and here's why you want to stay here. And so that takes a little bit of initiative, a little bit of confidence. You want someone on the phones that can do that, not just an order taker, as I used to call it. I don't want order takers. I want salespeople. I want you to turn those people into confirmed reservations, okay? Have to have telephone skills. Now, there is a new trend that's taking place now. And it was taking place when I was in the last couple of years of the hotel business. I'm not sure if I like it or not. In the old days, you used to have a reservations department that was open from 7 in the morning to about 6 at night. Then after 6 p.m., you forward the phones to what was called the Central Reservations Office, or CRO. CRO stands for Central Reservations Office. This is the 1-800 number, and they have the information on the computer, the screen there. But the person you're talking to probably never even stayed in a hotel a day in their life. And so they're just telling you what the computer. Yes, they do have availability, and they can give you a $169 rate that night. Well, what's $169 get? Well, it's a nicely appointed room, blah, 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 blah. If you need to know more, call back during business hours tomorrow directly to the hotel. Okay? That's the old way of doing things. Well, someone in accounting and finance figured out it cost a lot of money to have a person on property to be a reservationist. What would happen if we got rid of all the reservations departments in the individual hotels and just forward every call to the 800 number, the CRO? And what we'll do is that we'll collect more information. And now when you call the hotel and ask for reservations, say in Columbia, they're actually transferring you to Tampa, Florida, but you don't know it. And what happens is on the computer screen it pops up, Columbia Marriott. And so the person will answer the phone even though they're in Tampa. This is the Columbia Marriott, may I help you? I'd like to make reservations, please. Well, certainly. What can I tell you about the hotel? And then they have everything about the hotel on these screens. And so if you say, well, what's the nearest gas station? Well, there's a gas station a mile away, it's a BP, and here's a restaurant. And so theoretically, any question you ask is somewhere on the computer screen there. And the person that you're talking to could just be reading off a screen, and you think, oh man, they know a lot about the hotel. Not really. This happens a lot. In fact, do you guys know about the drive-through restaurants? Some of the McDonald's are doing this. Have you heard about this? You go to the drive-through restaurant, and you pull up to the speaker, and you say, hi, I'd like to order Big Mac and fries. Absolutely, we will take care of that for you. You think you're talking to the guy in the kitchen, right? Guess who you're really talking to? Somebody in Bangalore. They literally have the order takers halfway around the world. I mean, it's cheaper to have the phone service, but because people in Bangalore work for, $3 a day, you're saving so much money. And the person in Bangalore says, absolutely, I'll be happy to order a cheeseburger and a fry for you, and they type it in the computer, and then it gets sent back electronically to the kitchen. That's happening all the time. So this is the same thing happening. It's the centralization of call centers. And, in the old days, it used to be, you call help desk, and, I'm here to help you. How can I help you? And they got a thick accent, and you're going, okay, well, you're not in America, Mac. I can tell that. I can't understand you. But I tell you what, there are call centers now where they train you in English, and you have to pass these strict tests, and you think you're talking to Peter in Nebraska, and you're really talking to Abdul over in, some country over in the Middle East. And I tell you what, they've got the language skills. And, you can't even tell anymore. It's just kind of, the world is globally connected now. And this is just an example of that. I think it's a little bit sad because I like the reservations desk being in my hotel, because I think no one can sell your hotel better than your own reservationist. If they're sitting in Tampa, it's not really their hotel. They're selling 500 hotels out there. And the emphasis is on volume. And sometimes they'll say, look, there's no way I can convert this call. I'm just going to let them go. And they're not really fighting.